In the deep blue waters of South Africa, a chilling event unfolded that left marine biologists stunned. A lone orca, known as Starboard, swiftly and decisively took down a great white shark solo. This was no ordinary hunt. It marked a significant shift in the behavior of these apex predators. Orcas, long known for their intelligence and cooperative hunting, are now defying what we thought we knew about their evolutionary behavior. In this video, we'll dive into the fascinating journey of orcas, how they've evolved to become the ocean's most feared predators, and why they might be going rogue. Orcas, often referred to as killer whales, have existed on our planet in some form or another for millions of years. Many people are shocked to learn that whales and dolphins actually started out as land-dwelling quadrupeds before moving into the oceans, losing their hind legs and evolving fins. Over the millennia, they've further diversified into several ecotypes, each of which is uniquely adapted to a specific environment and type of prey. While called whales by many people, orcas are actually the largest member of the dolphin family and the only surviving species of its genus. Still, they have little in common with the bottlenose dolphins many of us grew up seeing on TV shows like Flipper. The largest male orcas can reach lengths of 20 to 26 feet and weigh over 6 tons. They also have long rows of sharp teeth, which can grow up to 4 inches long. With their striking back and white patterned bodies, orcas are a familiar sight in oceans around the world. From the icy waters of the Arctic and Antarctica to the warm seas of the tropics. Like other dolphins, they are highly social animals, living in stable matrilineal family groups known as pods. This strict adherence to social activity has largely defined everything we know about them, at least until now. No single aspect of orca behavior better epitomizes their social dynamics than the way they hunt. In fact, orcas are called the wolves of the sea because of the many techniques they use to trap, lure, or terrify their prey. As apex predators, they enjoy a position at the very top of the food chain. But this does not stem only from their size, but their remarkable intelligence as well. Like smaller members of the dolphin family, orcas often use echolocation to track prey. They also use their sophisticated language to coordinate complex attacks, sometimes changing plans on the fly in order to react to altering hunting conditions. For instance, some Norwegian orcas will release bursts of bubbles to force fish into tight balls before using their tails to slap the water, killing dozens at a time. When hunting seals, they will sometimes launch themselves onto the shore, attempting to surprise their prey and drag them back into the water. In icy regions, they will swim under ice floes and kick their tails, creating waves in an attempt to knock hiding seals off their frozen pedestals. But what's even more impressive is the fact that orcas are completely fearless when it comes to the type of prey they'll engage. Some ecotypes are known to go after sperm whales, humpback whales, and even blue whales, the largest animals on Earth. This too requires a group effort, with entire orca pods working together to chase and exhaust their prey before delivering the fatal blows. Orca hunting is almost always a coordinated group effort. However, recent observations suggest that some orcas are breaking away from traditional pod behavior, opting for more solitary lives and more dangerous prey. In recent years, orcas have exhibited increasingly aggressive and uncharacteristic behaviors, leading some experts to believe that these apex predators may be going rogue. One of the most startling examples is a growing number of attacks on, of all things, great white sharks. Most of these attacks have been reported around South Africa, waters typically dominated by great whites. Though Starboard's blatant attack on a hapless great white shark in 2022, which we mentioned in the intro to this video, is the first recorded example, great whites have been washing up on South African beaches with orca wounds for years. Orcas hunting whales is not entirely new, but the reason why these new attacks are occurring is. You see, it's becoming clear that the orcas are not interested in actually eating the predators, but simply removing and devouring their livers. While it would be easy to chalk this up to serial killer behavior, The truth is that this is just another example of intelligent creatures adapting to a changing environment. Indeed, the liver of a great white shark is exceptionally rich in nutrients, particularly in fats and oils, which are crucial for the orca's nutritional needs. In short, shark livers are to orcas what B vitamin shots are to humans. In the never-ending search for beneficial calories and energy, orcas have learned to simply attack the occasional great white and go about their hunt. This behavior is not only efficient, but also eerily methodical, and it has never been documented on such a large scale before. Of course, this comes with significant ecological impacts. In regions where this behavior is common, there have been noticeable declines in local great white shark populations. The absence of such major predators can drastically disrupt marine ecosystems, forcing other animals to adjust their behaviors as well. So, what changed? Environmental factors like overfishing, climate change, and pollution are putting a lot of pressure on global marine ecosystems. Being at the top of the food chain, orcas are by no means immune to these changes. As oceans change and traditional foods become scarcer, orcas are finding themselves being forced to evolve in real time. However, unlike many other species, orcas might be smart enough to do so consciously. In fact, some scientists believe that orcas' extraordinary intelligence and complex social structures allow them to learn and adapt far more rapidly than other marine animals. For instance, orcas have long been known to pass down knowledge through generations, and it's possible that they're literally telling each other what to do to survive their current ecological trials. In that way, the solo hunting of great whites might not just be a response to a scarcity of prey, but an example of orcas evolving new strategies to dominate their environments. It's certainly working, as great whites now seem very wary of the orcas' new initiatives and are abandoning hunting grounds in huge numbers, often for extended periods. But great whites are not the only things that need to be wary of these new evolved orcas. For decades, orcas have been portrayed as the friendly giants of the sea, often seen performing in marine parks or starring in family-friendly movies. However, the days of boaters celebrating every killer whale sighting might soon be behind us. In the wild, orcas are highly skilled predators with a capacity for aggression that you don't see portrayed in Free Willy. Perhaps the best example of this is the recent surge in boat attacks. Over the past few years, there have been dozens of reports of orcas attacking boats, particularly off the coast of Spain and Portugal. These incidents often involve orcas deliberately ramming into or otherwise damaging small sailing vessels. The attacking orcas seem to focus their attention on the rudders of the boats, often biting, pushing, or ramming them until they are damaged or destroyed. This behavior has caused significant damage to boats, with some even requiring rescue operations for those on board. But the real issue at hand is that nobody seems to know why they're doing it. One prevailing theory is that this behavior might have started with a single orca or a small group and then spread. In fact, some researchers suggest that a traumatic event, such as a collision with a boat, might have encouraged an orca to literally warn other members of its pod about boats. If true, this would be one of the most remarkable examples of social learning observed in the species. Others suggest the attacks are just a form of play or exploration, albeit with unintended destructive consequences. Whatever the case, boats have been around orcas as long as boats have been around, so it's odd that they would suddenly perceive them as a threat. Speaking of orcas and humans, it's true that there have been attacks on humans in the past. However, historically, most aggressive behaviors have been observed in captive orcas, where the unnatural conditions of captivity seem to exacerbate their predatory instincts. Though they are highly trainable, orcas have been known to bite, ram, and even hold their trainers underwater, often resulting in serious injury or death. One of the most infamous examples is Tilikum, a large male orca who was involved in the deaths of 3 individuals during his time at SeaWorld. In 1991, Tilikum and 2 other orcas seized 20-year-old trainer Kelty Byrne in their mouths and literally played catch with her until she drowned. Several years later, a man snuck into Tilikum's tank after dark to swim with him, only for his lifeless, bruised, and battered body to be found floating in the tank the next day. Before he passed away at age 36, Tilikum would claim another victim, trainer Don Brancho, in 2010. But lest we blame a single orca, it's important to note that Tilikum is not the only captive orca to demonstrate tendencies toward violence. A female orca named Kasatka several times tried to bite her trainers and once dragged a performer under the water, wounding their leg. On Christmas Eve of 2009, 29-year-old Alexis Martinez was dragged to the bottom of a 12-meter pool by an orca named Keto. Though the park initially claimed it was a simple accident and not an attack, an autopsy revealed Alexis had suffered bites, tears to vital organs, and multiple compression fractures. These incidents have fueled intense debates about the ethics of keeping such intelligent and powerful animals in captivity, leading to increased scrutiny and regulatory changes in marine parks. But we have no such control over wild orcas. Fortunately, attacks in the open ocean are extremely rare, and none have been fatal. The best example is a case in which several orcas tried to tip ice floes on which a dog team and photographer were standing, likely because the orcas mistook the barking of the dogs for seal calls. In another instance, a surfer in California was bitten by an orca, but the whale quickly retreated, suggesting that it realized its mistake. While the recent surge in aggressive interactions, such as boat attacks, has reignited fears of orcas being dangerous to humans, these behaviors are not indicative of a broader trend. However, these events do challenge the long-held myth of the smiling killer whale and remind us of the inherent unpredictability of wild animals. Orcas have always been seen as the rulers of the sea, but recent events have shown us that they are much more complex and unpredictable than we ever imagined. As they continue to adapt and evolve, their dominance in the marine world remains unchallenged. But with these changes come new questions about the future of our oceans and the delicate balance of marine ecosystems. What will these rogue orcas do next?